Andrew Gosden was born July 1993. He lived in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Andrew Gosden's parents are both committed Christians, did not impose their views on Andrew prior to his disappearance. Andrew had not been to church for 18 months. He had been to Club Scouts, but a few months before his disappearance, he told his father that he would no longer involve himself with the group. Andrew's family described him as a home bird who rarely left the house and never without saying where he was going. Andrew was known to his family as Roo. Andrew was a gifted student with a 100% attended record at the Catholic high school. He was on the Young and Gifted Talent program, which was designed to enhance the education dilemma of the top 5% of school pupils, and he had been expected to score straight A's in his GCSEs exam. Andrew was described as a prize winner at mathematics, who seem described for Cambridge. He was described as having a natural attendance about school. The upcoming school term would provide more of a challenge after hearing he cruised through his education so far. Andrew tended to say little about his school life to his parents. During the summer of 2006 holidays, Andrew attended a 2-week residential school at Lancaster University as a part of the Young and Gifted and Talent program. The summer school was for children from all over Britain at ages 11 to 16 who were in the top 5 academically. Andrew's parents recalled that he returned from the summer school enthusiastic about what he had been doing there. Gosden was described as being happy with his own company, but was not a loner as he had his own small group of like-minded friends. However, Gosden says that he did not socialize with his friends outside of school. Gosden exhibited no signs of depression, and there were no indicators that he had been subject to bullying. Gordon was said by his father to be an absent-minded, not streetwise, and potentially vulnerable. He was not a deep character who was mature beyond his years. Other sources have stated that even though Gordon was aged 14 when he disappeared, he looked younger, about 12, as he was small for his age. Gordon had a strong prescription glasses and is deaf in his left ear. Gosden had light brown hair but was planning to dye it black before he disappeared. Gosden owned a couple of mobile phones between the ages of 10 and 12, but he rarely used them as he subsequently lost them. He was given a new phone for his 12th birthday but also rarely used this and did not wanted a replacement. when he had lost it. Months before his disappearance, when his parents offered to replace the lost mobile phone, he stated that he would prefer a new Xbox instead. Gosden was interested in video games and a metal band. He was last seen wearing a black Slipknot t-shirt, black jeans and trainers, a watch on his left wrist. Now on the bit of events leading up to his disappearance. During the summer in 2007, the school summer holidays, typically July to September, Gosden's parents had suggested that he travel alone to London to stay with his grandmother. He chose not to go. At the time of his disappearance, Gosden was 8 days into the new school year after returning from the summer holidays. In the days leading up to his disappearance, Gosden twice chose to break his normal routine. His parents reported that he told them he was walking home from school rather than the school bus. Walking the 4 miles route from his home would have taken around 1 hour and 20 minutes. The event before the day of his disappearance was described by Gosden's father as uneventful. The family ate together as usual, and then they all washed the dishes afterwards. Gordon spent an hour making a jigsaw with his father, then watched some community programs on TV, including Mock of the Week, with his mother. The day of his disappearance, on the morning of his disappearance, Gosdell had difficulty waking up and seemed particularly irritable. His mother has stated that this was unusual as he would normally wake up on time. At 8:05 a.m., Gosden left his house and was witnessed walking across the local park Westfield to his usual bus stop by his family friends. Alan Murray, who was sitting on the bench in the park, insisted of taking the school bus. Gosdell diverted from his usual route and walked to the cash machine at the local garage. Here he was withdrawn £200 his bank account, which was almost all of his money. He had £214 in the account, but the ATM would only allow a withdrawal of £20. And Gosdell then was captured on a neighbour's CTV system returning home. At home, Gosdell placed his uniform in the wash machine, his blazer on the back of his chair. He then changed into casual clothes, consisting of a black Slipknot t-shirt, black jeans, and took a bag emblazoned with a version of patch of a rock metal bag. He also took his wallet, keys, and PlayStation, a portable console. No other possessions were identified as missing. It was quickly established that he had not taken his passport with him. Gosdell's father stated that his son not appeared to have taken a sweatshirt or coat with him. He also not taken the charger for his PSP. Gosdell also left around £100 in cash he had saved up from birthday. At 8:30 a.m., Gosdell would depart from the house and was seen heading down Littlemore Lane towards Westfield Park on a neighbour's CTV. He then walked to Doncaster railway station and purchased a one-way ticket to London, which cost £31.40. The ticket seller later recalled that she had told gosden that a return cost just 50p more, but he insisted on purchasing a single ticket. At 9:35 a.m., Gosden was seen boarding the train to King's Cross Station alone. A woman reported sitting next to Gosden, who she described as being quiet and engrossed in playing with his video game. When Gosden failed to attend the morning lesson at his school, his teacher tried contacting his parents. The school believed they had called Gosden's parents and left a message informing them that he had not attended school. However, the school dialed the number of a parent either above or below Gosden in the register, and the message was left on the wrong person's phone. Gosden arrived at King's Cross Station at 11:20 a.m. He was captured on CCTV leaving the main entrance of the station at 11:25 a.m. This was the last confirmed sighting of him. The family and the police investigated the possibility that Gordon had gone to London to meet someone who he had met over the internet. However, there was no evidence of this. Gosden did not use a computer at home. His father stated that Gosden didn't have an email address and had not set up an online account on either his Xbox or his PSP. The police took the computer from Gosden's school and Doncaster Library, but their investigation found no trace of any activity by Gosden. The investigators sent an inquiry serial number of Gosden's PSP to Sony HQ, who checked and found there was no record of an account being set up. The PC in the house was his sister's laptop, which had only been in her possession for 8 weeks. Gordon's sister stated that he did not seem interested in social media or connecting with people through the internet, as he just didn't seem social. A year after Gosden's disappearance, the head teacher at the Catholic high school, Mary Lawrence, travelled to London with staff and pupils and distributed 15,000 leaflets. Now we're at the reason for travelling to London. After the CCTV trail went cold, the investigation moved on to trying to establish why Gordon had decided to go to London early. The theory was put forward to the family was that Gordon's had decided to take in some of the sights. Gosden was known to have enjoyed London and would visit the capital with his family to see his grandparents, auntie, uncle and family friend who lived there. He also enjoyed visiting London's museum and exhibition. According to Gosden, the father, Gosden also had good knowledge of the public transport system and worked and knew the layout. He was confident in navigating his way around the city. Travelling on the buses was free for children at the time of Gosden's disappearance. Gosden's sister travelled to London to hand out CVs when she was 14 in order to gain work experience. Gosden's father speculated that Andrew may have been doing the same. One event identified by Kevin Gosdell as a possible reason for his son to have travelled to London was the 2007 YouTube gathering. However, there was no evidence that Gosdell attended this event. or had any interest in YouTube. The family also looked into concerts that Gosden Magic have gone to London to attend. That night of his disappearance, Thursday Second to Mars was playing, the Bratton Academy and Silk played a rescheduled farewell show at the Carlin Academy. The venue is with walking distance from King's Cross. The Silk gig was originally scheduled for 4 p.m. on the 7th of July and was be the last show, with the original voice list making it an equation event. Mick Neville, retired head of the Metron Police Centre Imaging Unit, believed the Silk theory to be a plausible. He appealed for anyone with a photo or videos taken at the gig to come forward so that super recognition could scan the image. Neville wanted on to state there is a canal nearby. It's unclear whether this ever dragged or checked, though Gosden was a fan of a similar metal band. There is no evidence that he attended these shows or that he ever liked these bands. A Finnish brand him did a promotion dinner at the HMV store on Oxford Street on the Monday the 17th of September 2007, and a performer an invitation only show the same evening at Bordlin venue in school. The only way to get into this show was by complete varied content and giveaway. This lead was investigated by the family with help from him, but did not pursue it any mindful leads. Gosden further also stated that he suspected that Gordon Magic have gone to London to do something, for which he felt it was easy to sneak forgiveness than ask for permission. Gosden's family will criticise the police the decision to continue on the investigation. Then family rather request CCTV footage behind King's Cross during the interstages of the investigation. Kevin Gosdell claimed that the police viewed him as a suspect during the internet stage. They carried out an awfully recorded an interview aimed at pursuing him into revealing the reason for his son's disappearance. Kevin Gosdell and the wider family were cleared of any involvement. I would like to add on as well is it's probably quite easy when you've got a missing child to criticise how the police are handling things. Because even tonight, I wouldn't know what to do. I would be probably criticising the police as well. On the anniversary of Gosdell's disappearance, reported that time it was 122 possible sightings had been reported from all over Britain, including 45 from London, 11 from Brighton. Gosdell's father said there were 2 or 3 sightings were the first week of his disappearance that seemed to be credible, partly because the way of the witness claimed. Gosdell spoke to them. Gosdell's family believed the most plausible sighting would be the place Gosdell at the pizza on Oxford Street, which is 2.6 miles, an hour walk away from King's Cross on the day he went missing. There were added in unconfirmed sightings on Oxford Street on Monday the 17th and the next day when Gosdell was said to have been sleeping in a park at Southwark. Gosdell was reported to have been seen to get off a local train from Waterloo at Mortlake Station on the 19th of September 2007, 5 days after his disappearance. Walking up Shepherd Lane along Upper Richmond Road on 19th of September, it was reported that he approached to obtain a warm clothes. A woman reported a potential sighting of Gosden on the 17th of October, a month after his disappearance in Covent Garden. She spoke to a boy that he stated that he looked like a boy she had seen on TV that was missing, but the boy denied that it was him. Later, the other reports citing located including a parking Streatham, then further afield to South Wales, Birkenhead and Plymouth in 2009. Two popular sightings were reported outside the Natural History Museum and the other in a pub, Southhead. None of these sightings could be verified. However, according to Godson's father, none of these sightings were followed up by the police, and the woman who reported the Covent Garden site was not spoken until 6 weeks after the disappearance. On 11th January 2022, South Yorkshire Police that on 8th of December 2021, followed an anonymous tip-off, detective had arrested two men at aged 38 and 45 on suspicion of kidnapping and human trafficking. The oldest man was arrested with also connection with a possible of indicated indecent images of children. Both men have been released under investigation while the inquiry continues. They are believed to be the first arrest made in this connection. The disappearance. The following day, it was announced that numerous devices have been seized from the men for the investigation, which police said could take up to 6 months to a year. Gosden's father thanks the public for their support and said the family do not know any more than what has been released in the police statement. In January 2023, South Yorkshire Police said the man remained under investigation and that subject devices were also still examination. So there we go. We have done Andrew Gosden. Like I've said before, if you've got any information, please obviously connect to the police. And I wouldn't know what to do if a child went missing in my family. And this must have a devastating state on the family. So please be respectful in the comments area. Yeah, and see you next time.